go ahead or not? I think it is required because there are people right at the back. If you notice, I was shouting, so you should not be have to shout. I was trying to quickly wrap up so that you will get more time. Hi, good morning. My name is Gopal. I am the head of West Bengal State of CRY Child Rights and EU Eastern Regional Office, and my colleague Ms.Mohua Chatterjee, who is the Regional Program Head of Eastern Region located at Calcutta. And we are with IIMC over the past more than 6 years. And whenever we are here in this premier institution, we really feel proud. Because we are in front of a group who is our future management gurus, who is our future bureaucrats, technocrats. So speaking in front of them in regards to child rights is indeed honor for us. See, total child population of our country, I will be coming to the context, but before coming to the context, I am going a little out of context. The total population of our country, child population of our country, anybody you know this? What is the percentage of the total population? Is about 42% of the total population is children. And these children and situation of these children are, even after 7 decades of our independence, is not very hopeful. Though there are several positive rays of hope because of the social entrepreneurship being stated rightly by Professor Meter, so a lot of positive rays of hopes are there, but in spite of that, majorly and mostly the situation are very dark. And these 42% populations are not the vote bank. They cannot decide, they cannot cast their vote. So they are primarily no one's agenda. Now, as you will be our future, management gurus, management giants, also need to know, I hope you are aware of this, what is the percentage of the GDP being allocated in the union budget for the children? Last year, the budget being allocated for children is, total GDP is 3.78% of the total GDP. And out of that allocation, if we come to the child protection scenario, this is only 0.08%. One of the very progressive scheme of our country for ensuring child protection is Integrated Child Protection Service. It is being introduced in the year 2010 in the Central Cabinet, where all the child protection schemes being brought under one umbrella as known as Integrated Child Protection Scheme. In 14-15, the total budget for this scheme was 402 crores, and the last year in 16-17, the budget reduced to 400 crores. Now, under this backdrop, we are talking about child rights, we are talking about social entrepreneurship. And very recently, Government of India has notified a government order is that 2% of the profit has to be plowed back for the social responsibility, and here Professor Meter very effectively has stated difference between corporate social responsibility as well as social entrepreneurship. I think social entrepreneurship to be garnered by the social engineers and would-be social engineers like you. And these are happening. If you are coming to the social entrepreneurship, CRY is one of the pioneer organizations to promote corporate social responsibility, because we are not a corporate. We are a social organization registered under Bombay Charitable Trust Act. But we are one of the biggest Indian organizations. I will take you to the genesis of crime. Later my colleague Mohua will give you some perspective on how program approach of crime. Then I will again talk to you about what best you can do as a would be social entrepreneurship by associating with CRI and CRI constitute. Now coming to the again context, that in every year over the past 5 years, CRI is organizing a corporate social research conclave in Mumbai to identify the best, and we are giving some sort of certification to the corporate and giving award to the corporate. And this and people all across the globe are coming to this conclave. It has earned the credibility, and I will invite you, if possible, this year, if IIM can also present over there, we will send you the invitation to you, sir. If a representative group can present over there, then it will be surely a kind of an exposure for them. This is one. Now coming on to how CRI being initiated. I think our founder, President Ripan Kapoor, has certain vision and mission of being a social entrepreneur. I will stick to this word. This word is really very significant. In the year 1979, there was a dining table of Mr. Ripan Kapoor. Ripan Kapoor is no longer with us. He passed away in the year 1979, just at the age of, 1994, just at the age of 40 years. But in 1979, there was a dining table of his mother. He has 50 rupees in his hand, and with that money, there were 6 other like-minded people. And the CRI was registered as a charitable trust in Mumbai. And within this almost 37 years, we are approaching to 40 years, CRI was being able to establish offices in all across the country, in all the metropolitan city of our country. In Calcutta is our Eastern Regional Office, and Chennai, Bangalore is the Southern Regional Office, Delhi is our Northern Regional Office, Mumbai is our Western Regional, as well as registered HO. We are catering, extending support to almost 200 plus minus organizations all across the country in 23 states, and keeping child right as a center. We are very effectively collaborating with the government in their policy formulation, in the legislation formulation, joining hand with government to implement and assess certain programs. So that's what, if Jill, mission like a social entrepreneurship is there, then things are possible. And in these 37 years of our operation, where I have given you a very dark side of our budget, but within 23 states, there are thousands of positive stories of hope. I met a child in 2001 in one of the seminars in St. Xavier's College. It was a seminar on education, and this boy was a child labor working in a tea shop of his father, and recently the boy is a guest lecturer of this stream in Vidyasagar University. I know 2 girls. They are living in one of the red light area of this city of joy, city of Calcutta. And these 2 girls has completed their post-graduation from Calcutta University. One of the girls is now being employed in Coal India. Those are little examples, but has greater deal of significance and influencing character. Then how the processes, how this was possible, this how factor is really a science. That need to be understood. Now coming to the how it work, I will request Mohua to elaborate it.
Thank you.
So the mic, I think.
No, mic is required.
Mic is, you have realized.
Mic is not required.
It is.
Am I audible? No.
No.
Okay. my colleague Mr. Dey, I would like to share you one very small little incident when I joined this sector. I'm also a management grad, apart having a specialization in nutrition and having many other such social sector related degrees. So I started my career with Nestle, and after Nestle I just switched over my career to this social sector. So when I joined a bilateral organization, at that point of time development sector was very hyped with bilaterals working in this, UN agencies working in India. So when I joined this sector, the first day that I came into the office, my driver was frowning at me, was a bit hesitant. Oh madam, you were working in Nestle and you have come, is sector may I know, you have come this here and you have to go to the field, you have to go to the villages where, you know, I mean all that of garibi, all that of poverty, all that of deprivation, he has expressed in his own language. And he was not very confident that either he was thinking of me being mad, either he was thinking of me being a cranky person coming into this sector, leaving a plush corporate. And then I at that point of time tried to pacify his anger, his passion, his his inconfidence in me in my own way. From there I picked up one message. Here, the difference between the corporate and the social sector that is set in the common people's mind, in all mind is, this is a sector which deals with poverty. This is a sector where you have to give out something and then your responsibility is over. If you are a well-read person, if you are a learned person, if you are a degree out, then you should sit in the corporate. So from there, coming into this blending of corporate social responsibility towards making it a corporate social entrepreneurship, where blending these two values together, the social benefit and the economic benefit together, the social sector, social enterprises like CRI, social organizations like CRI has a large role. So I just wanted to give you this example where the context has been set by Professor Meter, where he said that corporate social entrepreneurship has a large universe, has a wider universe than corporate social responsibility, and CRI believes in that. So we have many corporate partners with whom we work, with whom we actually partner out towards cause-related marketing. So why this cause-related marketing and why child at the center of this cause-related work? As Mr. Dey, my colleague, said, children are the stakeholders who sits in the center of any analysis. And children are just not passive recipient of anything, children are the active recipient, and children are just not the future, they are the present for us. And if we ignore them, thinking that they are the passive recipient and whatever we will be deciding for them will be benefiting them, will be good for them, is something absolutely going wrong for their future. They have their own ability to decide on their own, they have the power of decision making, they have the right to choose what is good and what is bad for them. And they have their own understanding of what is good, what is bad, and what is poverty. So I just want to give you a little example of how do we define poverty. We define poverty as economic from the lens of economics, from the lens of not having adequate money to purchase. But I just give you a very interesting example from our experiential learning, that when you ask a child about what is poverty, they have a varied dimensions and definitions of their own. They define poverty as comparing with the other child. They define poverty if they sit in the last bench and the teacher is absolutely ignoring him or her. So this is just a kind of example. So when we analyze the issues of vulnerability of children in CRI, we put them to the center of every analysis and we try to analyze, try to hear their voice out, and just not put the adult perspectives of analyzing what are the vulnerabilities, what are the issues that are lying in the children. And there lies the USP of CRY programming, we say. So whatever there are many ways, there are multiple ways that you all as social engineers can do something for children. You can give out books, you can give clothes, you can run a shelter home, you can run even an evening classes for children. But is it a lasting solution? So once you go out, once you start your professional life, once you find out no time to run those classes or give out those things that you are doing as part of your charity, as part of your giving back to the society, will that child sustain? Will that change? Is it a lasting change? Is it sustainable for the child? No. I think you would come up with this answer, no. So here is where CRY harps in. CRY programming, child rights and youth talks about. You have to make children's change in their life sustainable. And how can you make those sustainable changes? And in order to ensure those sustainable children, what role do you have to play? Those are just short-term solutions. If you just come up and run something in a temporary basis. But if you go towards ensuring what their rights are, their fundamental rights as enshrined in the Constitution, if you as a responsible part of the society begin ensuring that, will make a long-lasting change in the lives of the children. And that's why CRY believes in their program. CRY has 4 areas to work with the children. It is education, where CRY works for ensuring right to education for all children. So it was earlier, some 25 years back, that CRY started experimenting with greeting cards. CRY also started experimenting with running evening schools, evening classes, short-term bridge courses, etc. Out of the learning that CRY has learned from running those classes, that have not made any sustainable changes, and thereby there is a paradigm shift of programming happened with CRY, where we are currently working towards ensuring child rights. And in order to do that, I would leave this discussion on the opportunities to my colleague Mr. Dev. So I would just end with one very focused area that we are trying to bring into the CRY programming or CRY partnership with the social engineers, is that you can make a lot of difference if you really contribute, if you really try changing your thinking towards children, and that matters a lot. If you think that I will do something as part of my project, as something as part of my professional accordance with any corporate, it may not bring lasting change. But if you start changing your thinking process towards children, where you will actually give that dignity to the child, actually identify those rights that the children are supposed to get, then I think you have a lot more to contribute to change the lives of the children. That's all.
Let's take another 3-4 minutes only, and I think this portion is already being uploaded in your website. Now what you can do, and further coming on to this point, I would like to quote Mr. Ripan Kapoor, who is no longer with us, but his spirit, missions being followed by all of us. He said, what I can do, I must do. Whoever and whatever is being done in whatever capacity is directly or indirectly going to the benefit to ensure child right. That's what he has stated. And there are a couple of, as a future magnet, future management magnet, I think a lot of ample scopes are there. You can give perspective on how best evaluation framework could be developed, because now it is not charity. Development is a science and it is being measured by different indicator. You can develop indicator, you can help us develop social medias, promotion through social medias. You can closely work with government system, it is there. So these are there, I would not repeat because our learned friends are there, and these if required and if need be arise, so I will keep this presentation with you. But I will love to have questions if there are, it can be after this session is over. So thank you all. It's again indeed our honor to get opportunity to interact with you. Thank you.
This is already said.
I don't think so.